Bowhunt or Die is being brought to you by Matthews, Lost Camo, Lone Wolf Portable Tree Stands, Hunter Safety System, Heartland Wildlife Institute, New Archery Products, Tinks, Carbon Express, Stealth Cam, Moose Utility Division, Lacrosse Footwear, Scent Blocker, Pine Ridge Archery, HHA Sports, Stick and Pick, and the Can Cooker.
Welcome to another exciting episode of Bowhunt or Die. Before we get started, we want to wish everyone a happy new year for sure. Justin, beyond being a new year, we got a great hunt in store, but we want to remind everyone that next week we're not going to have a show.
Correct.
Tell us a little bit about what's going on next week.
Well, next week we're going to be in Nashville at the ATA show. We're actually going to be updating the website live from the show every day with, blog entries, video interviews, photos, pretty much everything you guys could want regarding the ATA show and all the new products coming out for this year. So next week, make sure you guys stay tuned to bowhunting.com. We're going to have a lot of cool information for you.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Justin, this year we've got more people that are going to be reporting than ever. So hopefully this year, guys, we're going to be able to bring you the newest of all bow hunting products as quick as possible. As soon as we see it, our goal is to get it on that site as quickly as possible for you. So don't be looking for the show next week. Be looking at all that new gear that you can start saving your money for. Because I know that's what I'm going to be doing.
You're definitely going to need to save your money for some of it. But with that said and that out of the way, Todd, we do have a great hunt this week. And actually, this is from Paul Morrison. As a lot of people know, Paul's one of the new team members for this year. You saw him in an episode earlier this year. He shot a doe. And, I got to be honest with you, he did a great job. I mean, this is a pretty awesome hunt.
Paul rocks. I mean, hey, let's not talk about it. Let's jump in and take a look right now.
That was exciting. I'm not even all the way set up yet. I don't have my release on or my bow out or anything. Got that 1.5-year-old buck, he just came down. Must have got a scent of something he didn't like on top of that. I could have shot him the whole way over, so I don't really have my decoy in the right spot. There's a tree sort of in the way. But I'm hoping to make it work tonight. So it's about 2:30. Sunday afternoon. It's November 10th. Been hunting hard every day, so I've lost track of time. But it's November 10th, and it's been windy. But it cut down to about 8 to 9, 10 mile an hour winds, gusts, maybe even more than that. I'm set up in a big cottonwood tree that I hunt a lot, and I passed up several bucks on this dry creek bed here last year. My fat buck. And a couple other ones I saw on this trail here. I have seen my shooter twice now. I saw him a week ago yesterday, and he came out 100 yards up this hill lot and walked up the edge of the field lot. He wouldn't come any closer. It didn't want anything to do with my calls or anything. But that was a great encounter. That's the first real good encounter that I've had this year. I did see him the other day on a morning hunt, and he was back this side, a couple 100 yards that way. Saw a nice bobcat came in that morning and everything. It was a fun hunt, but all I saw was him, and he actually ended up winding something. I don't know if he smelled the bobcat. I don't know if he smelled me. I don't know if he smelled the scent I was using. I don't really know, but that's the second encounter. So, at least he's on his feet during daylight hours. That's usually the hardest part of the deer hunt, is to find them big bucks on their feet. So, like I said, that little year and a half, he was on his feet right now. So I'm gonna be quiet, sit tight. You guys stay tuned, and hopefully a big one comes in and I get a shot at him just like that. looks like I just drilled him. Looks like I just smoked him good. Might have been a little bit far back. I tried to stay away from that shoulder. Oh my gosh. I did not see him fall. He went about 85, 90 yards. And oh my gosh. He came right down that trail. Now see, I'm hunting over it's a dry creek bed, but also this bottom is so thick here that what I do early season, I make 4-wheeler trails from the bedding to the feeding. And hopefully that's what I do, is I catch them cruising just like I caught him. First buck for Bowhunt or Die. And oh my gosh, I couldn't be more excited. Wow. That is so much fun. I tell you what, bow hunting gets so much adrenaline going inside of you. It is ridiculous. I don't know what the score on him is, but that doesn't matter. That is a trophy with my new Matthews helium. Oh my God, Bowhunt or Die. Let me show you the blood spatter. This is right at contact. You can see some of the hair, and you can see the blood spatter. So like everybody says, it's not about the broadhead, it's about the placement. So hopefully this one was placed in a place where he's not laying too far. So let's go get him. Here's the arrow right here. That's a good sight to see. It's like it was a clean pass through. And there's a lot of blood. That's what you like to see. Look at that deep red blood and some light blood there. So it looks like I might have got liver and some lungs, because there's a bunch of bubbles in this. So that should be good. He should be dead. If it was only liver, I'd leave it for a while, but we left him about an hour and a half, and I think that's good. Let me turn this launch pad off. Like I said earlier, shooting these little 85 grain thunderheads, and hopefully it did the trick. Oh, there he is right there. He just barely made it on the other side of the creek. Heck yeah. Heck yeah. Bowhunt or Die. He might have made it 100 yards and crashed right on the other side of the creek. Of course, we're gonna have to get in, wade across, and then drag him back across to get him back. So let's go get my camera lady some wading boots, and then we'll get across. Here he is. Latest Matthews down here. Oh, nice. What do you think? Wow. That's a good 8-point there. Look at that. I am speechless. This is a good old boy. I tell you what, he's probably 4.5 at least years old. He could even be more. I had some encounters with him last year, and he actually came into the same decoy, like I said, and so he knew what that was all about. But man, he's scarred up from fighting here on his nose and everything. That's a great southeastern Ohio 8-point. Tell you what, I couldn't be happier. My first buck for Bowhunt or Die. I want to give a shout out to the veterans. This is Veterans Day weekend. I want to thank them for all their service to allow us to be able to pursue hobbies like this, and it wouldn't be, it's only because of them and the freedom that they provide for us. So I want to give a shout out to them. All in all, it was a great hunt on a successful Ohio whitetail.
Well, guys, I don't know that there's a whole lot to say about Paul's hunt. I mean, he did a great job at filming that from the beginning to the end and really telling a great story. And it's just one of those hunts where when the bucks are cruising and you're in the right spot at the right time, you know what? He made a perfect shot, great camera work, you know, all around, just a really great hunt. It was nice to see Paul, a new guy, you know, be successful. We're definitely glad to have him as a part of the team.
Yeah, well, and Justin, we put a lot of time into building our pro staff application and interviewing different people. And, you know, Paul came with a great application. He stuck with everything that he said he was going to do, and I was pumped, man. I was really pumped for Paul. I love when the new guys come in and they
Do better than me.
Yeah, well, hey, I mean,
Which isn't hard to do
I didn't
this
mean
year.
it like that. No, I just meant, when they come in and they just do exactly what we ask them to do, it's a lot of hard work. I mean, until you're out there and until you're going day after day, setting up the camera, taking it down, doing your interviews, doing all the things that's involved, and then, of course, pulling it off when that moment of truth actually comes together. Paul did a great job. It was a great hunt. Next up, we're going to join Tyler Rector in an area where he's been hit with EHD the hardest of everybody, of all of our teammates. I mean, he has lost, I don't know what percentage of his deer herd he's lost, but it is a lot. At this point, I think he's just looking to let an arrow fly. Let's go ahead and join up with him and see how he does.
Monday, the day after gun season here. It's the 25th of November. Got off work at like 2:45. It's probably 3:20 right now, and I'm in the stand. So, it's needless to say, I moved here right along. It's 3:26. So, we're set up. I literally parked my truck on the other side of these railroad tracks. Not very far, and literally ran to this tree. So, first time in this spot all year. I kind of did some hinge cutting last winter, made this a food or a bedding area. I got a food plot right here over my shoulder. It's turnips and clover. And I've been getting pictures of a big buck crossing the road up here. So I don't know if he's coming in here, or if he's even crossing the railroad tracks, but I know he's on the other side. The problem is, it's the same big buck that I've get pictures of about 3 miles from here too, so he's got a big home stretch, and I'm hoping he's in here today. Pretty sure it's a button up, got a red head on him. Couple fawns back there. Like one's a button bug and one's a doe fawn. Which that means game on, little fawn. Come on in here, give me some bacon. Deer jerky, some deer salami, a couple back straps. Oh yeah, I can taste them in my mouth. About 40 yards right now. I think it's a wood. Right underneath of me. I got the big doe coming. I missed. Smoked her. Right there. She's down right there. It's freaking freezing. That first big doe, man, she was spooky when she came in here. I'm gonna knock another arrow in case she comes back, but she was spooky the whole way in here. Those two fawns came right underneath the tree. I didn't have time to range it. I shot her for 30, she had probably like 25, and she talked to him quite a bit, so I missed her clean. I shot right over her. It's the first deer I've missed in a long time. But the baby Bowhunt's dead there. 41 yards. I had time to range it because she's dumb. And I just smoked her at 41 yards. Thank you. I tell you what, man, I have had the worst deer season I've ever seen in my entire hunting. She didn't run very far at all. She's got me shaking too. That's awesome. Layton finally showed up. Drove the truck down here. I know she's dead. I watched her fall on video, but had to find my arrow, and just gonna follow the blood trail just because I can. And there's my arrow right there, actually. So where she's standing. Oh yeah. I'd say she's smoked. Heck, that broadhead's still good for another deer. Awesome. Came in here tonight to shoot a doe and shot the next best thing. Shot a doe fawn. So 1-1 for the freezer. Missed her mama at 25 yards. I shot her for 30. Just shot right over her back. But shot this little girl at 41 yards and she ran about 40 maybe yards. So killed on max. Made a nice, clean, quick kill. She died right here by this road. We can back the truck all the way up to her, which we probably won't because it'll scratch the paint, but we'll drag her over there, put her on the hitch carrier, and get her home and gut her and start butchering her up. It won't take long. She's not very big, but they all taste the same. So happy to be on the board. Now it's time to chase some big bucks. Bowhunt or die.
Well, you know, Todd, there's not a whole lot to say about that hunt other than, you know, Tyler did a good job at redeeming himself. He missed that first deer, made a good shot on the second one, which is difficult to do when you're self-filming. And yeah, it was a fawn, but at the end of the day, who cares? Meat is meat. When you've been out there hunting and not seeing a lot of deer, just about any deer is looking good at that point, so he did a good job. Now, the next hunt we're going to see is actually, Todd, a late season hunt out on your property.
Well, you know, the temperatures finally turned cold. I mean, personally, Justin, I don't like going on those hunts where I have to wear blaze orange. There's just something weird about that feeling. But the temperature was right. I figured the deer would be moving. So let's join me on this late season hunt.
Well, as you can tell, it's way into December now. We've got cold temperatures, snow on the ground, and food sources become critical for these deer's survival. Got a corn plot behind me, surrounded by brassicas, Heartland Wildlife Institute brassicas. As you can tell, I'm whispering. I got 3 doe right over here. I just got set up, and I'm still breathing pretty heavy from sneaking in here. There's definitely 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's got to be about 10 beds right below this stand where they've been bedding. It's a perfect spot. Definitely a deer. Let's get ready. That's the bad thing about the late season. They're super edgy, and they come in close to these food plots. They pick up any scent, they're gone. I mean, gone.
One nice thing about the late season, and when you start hunting over food plots, the deer are usually herding up this time of the year, and it was pretty cool. I mean, it was almost like sitting there watching a train come by, Justin. It was like, doe, doe, doe. I'm like, come on, at some point a buck has got to be following these does. And sure enough, the last one of the group was a buck. And I'm like, man, he was hobbling a lot. I thought that maybe he got injured during the shotgun season. I mean, to be honest with you, Justin, I was getting my bow ready. I was going to shoot that deer because I figured he was wounded a lot worse than he was. But boy, as he got closer, that wound was been there for a long time, and he was getting along just fine, so I gave him a pass.
Yeah, it is amazing how, those three-legged deer definitely seem to get around all right. They hobble a little bit when they're walking, but if you've ever seen somebody shoot one or you spook one, when they start running, it looks like there's nothing wrong with them. So,
Exactly.
That deer, it's definitely going to make it. It should be interesting if he sticks around next year to see how his rack looks, because obviously, he had that one funky side, which was the opposite, side from that wounded leg. So that was pretty neat. Todd, late season is definitely a hard time to, get out and shoot deer. But when you got food, you definitely are going to have the deer. I was hunting that same day out at our lease where we didn't have a lot of food, and I didn't even see a deer. So now here I am, texting with Todd. He's like, I've seen 23 so far. And I'm like, man, I haven't seen any deer, which just shows you, the benefit of putting in food plot. It's a lot of hard work. It's a lot of effort, during the summertime. But, come late season, it certainly does pay off.
Well, and I don't want to drag this on any longer than we have to, but, food plotting starts right now. That may sound crazy. You're looking outside. Heck, some of you guys up in northern Minnesota, I've been seeing some of that -20 and stuff. But honestly, food plotting starts right now. Get on our website, read some of our articles, call up our great friends at Heartland Wildlife Institute. They'll be more than happy to start telling you the type of seed you should buy for your different plots and properties. But I'm telling you, start finding those spots now. Start figuring out how and where you're going to put those plots and how you're going to sneak in those plots when it is freezing cold and there isn't, a half an inch of ice. I mean, we had a lot of ice this year. You can't walk 100 yards without spooking a deer. So you got to keep all those things in mind. Start doing that planning now so that you have good late season success in the future.
All right. Now, with that said, guys, we want to thank the people who sent in their trophies for this week's show. Matt Ivory, Micah Doan, Dylan Bolton, and Chris Williams. Hey, congratulations, everybody. Those are some great trophies. Now, remember, if you want to see yourself right here in an episode of Bowhunt or Die, all you've got to do is send us your photos. You can either email them to us, go to bowhunting.com's homepage, click on the Submit Your Trophy button, or you can send them through our Facebook page. Now, Todd, with all that out of the way, that's all we've got for this week's show.
Not it. Now we always got something else to add here.
What?
It's this time too. Don't forget.
It is certainly shed season. I'm actually seeing a lot of guys on Facebook picking up sheds already, which is kind of disheartening for guys like us here in Illinois because we still got a couple weeks of hunting left, and the worst thing you want to do is shoot a shed buck this time of year.
Yeah, don't look. Take your time. Make sure there's no nubs up there.
Use your binoculars before you shoot a buck this time of year. But like I said, that is all the hunting action we've got for this week. But there is one other thing that I wanted to show everybody this week, and it's kind of an end to a story that started a couple months ago. If you remember, back in October, I shot a buck here in northern Illinois that I hit in the shoulder. And, I shot that deer, didn't get a lot of penetration, never found the deer. And I'll be honest with you, afterwards, I was pretty confident that I was going to start getting trail camera photos or trail camera videos of that deer. I typically get all the deer on that farm, and I never saw the deer again. So I'll be honest with you, come about mid-November, I was getting a little worried that maybe I had killed him or he died or something happened. But, fortunately, it turns out he just moved across the road to a different part of the farm, and my buddy Mike actually shot that deer the day after Christmas. And he had a nice scar right on his front shoulder where I had shot him, and it had already healed up, and he was getting along just fine until he made the mistake of coming by Mike. So
don't do that. Mike's a deer killer, so I mean,
Mike
that's a big mistake
is
for
a deer killer. That's the second buck he's killed this year. But it was kind of neat, closure to a story.
Right.
A buck that I had wounded earlier this year. I was glad to see Mike get him, and at least I know what happened to that deer. So that's all we've got for this week, Todd. 2 weeks, we'll have another episode. Bowhunt or Die.
In the meantime, don't forget to check out facebook.com/bowhunting for daily updates, news, photos, and other exciting information. We want to hear your opinions and your stories, so join us now and like us on Facebook. Oh, that's too low. There you go. Welcome to another exciting episode of Bowhunt or Die. I'm Todd Gratt. Okay, let's do that. Ready?
I am ready.
Oh, I'm Todd Grab. We should get shirts that say I'm Todd Grab. Well, first off, Happy New Year. Okay. Justin Czar is here in a new year. Justin, Happy New Year, everybody.
Yes, my New Year's resolution.
Are we doing that? I don't know. I just said so.
All right, so Tyler's hunt.
Justin's brain is not here today.